Nobody likes taxes. They stink. But here, taxes are very important to help people discover their aviation lifestyle potential. You'd be amazed at what's possible for helping you structure ownership in a tax advantage way for that airplane of your dreams. So why are we talking about taxes today? Well, this is the area where many clients who are interested in being involved with aircraft discover things they had no idea that were possible. Many clients come in and they're planning to buy an airplane with the amount of money they have in their hands. And then they discover that there are ways to structure business or ownership of the aircraft that could generate direct offsets to their personal income for taxes. Like literally you can end up with owning the plane and paying less in taxes than you would have. Now, there's many details that go into this. And of course, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a CPA or even a tax advisor. However, I am a businessman and I have spent 20 years helping people discover these things and working with our advisors. So I do know a lot. The big picture concepts are the most important part. The first thing to understand is in the United States, our tax law is actually very well structured to support a desire to enjoy private aircraft. This is due to the business tax laws that give us access to what's called depreciation. There are multiple types of depreciation. They all are the same idea. It's giving us access to a way as a business to invest in something and write off that investment either upfront or in a very accelerated way. There's something called bonus depreciation. That's the one that's so exciting because depending on which tax year we're in, it could be anywhere from 40, 60, 80, even 100% in years past, where we can take the entire purchase deduction immediately. Now, we're not talking about the operating cost in that moment. When we say bonus depreciation, that means if we buy $1 million asset, which is 100% to be used for business in a particular tax year, it could range from $1 million being offset of regular income or maybe 60% of that income. It depends on the set of facts that we're working with. Then there's something called Section 179 depreciation and also general accelerated depreciation. It really doesn't matter what any of these things are called. What's most important is to understand there are ways to structure the actual purchase price so that it becomes a tax lever. So that's the big picture concept. How it gets applied to which type of airplane and which type of ownership structure is the nuance of how to best structure it for each client. Many people considering aircraft think that they have to have a business in order to enjoy business deductibility for an aircraft. And while that's technically true, what they're not aware of is all the different ways that actually owning an aircraft and putting it in different structures creates an actual business. One of the things we did at LifeStyle Aviation was to create our own sharing programs called DiamondShare. This has been a successful program for us for, 15 years plus. Owners own the aircraft, members fly the aircraft and pay for general access. Their flight hours become business hours for the owner. It's a fabulous, great structure for how to enjoy the aircraft, how for us to structure the ownership cost, and for the owner to enjoy maximum deductibility simultaneously with minimum usage of the aircraft. Another structure that we use often is called a leaseback. When we say leaseback, we generally mean to a flight school. Looking at leasebacks is a great idea. It can be sometimes the ideal situation because technically these structures can produce profits and it can be a profitable enterprise. Now, candidly, we don't go after that approach to say, buy an airplane, you'll make money. You might make money, but what's great about it is setting it up in this potential for profitability and a business structure. This means you're now going to enjoy all the tax deductible potential of an aircraft ownership for business purposes. So those that fly the plane will pay the school for access. Every one of those hours is business use, and every one of those business use hours drives that deductibility for that owner of that aircraft. Another variation of a leaseback concept is that where the aircraft is put in a Part 135 structure. Now, a Part 135 has unique rules. It's the same idea. The usage profile of the aircraft, though, is it's going into a managed structure by an entity in the business of providing charter services, flying that aircraft around, providing those charter services to individuals, and then that income flow comes back to the owner. Great business structure that can provide possible profitability and definite deductibility. Another ownership structure that many people think of is partnerships. It's a valid structure. If you happen to have a brother-in-law or a family member or someone you already know you want to split an aircraft with, this can be possibly the ideal structure for you. There's flexibility in how it can be split for tax purposes. There's a lot of unique ways that it can be created, structured, and managed. They typically are the hardest things to create and get into, and they're the hardest things to get out of. We help clients conceptualize partnerships and implement those, and then we also have guidance for them on what considerations they'd want to think of to determine, is that really the right structure for them? If you're considering aircraft right now, now is the time for you to dig into this information. Find out, could it be applied to your situation? And if so, which tax year should it be applied to? Take, for example, if it's November, there's time for you to acquire aircraft, get full deductibility before the end of the year, and take full advantage. And it might be the ideal time to do it. Or you can plan out another tax year, whichever one's exactly right for your set of circumstances. Having helped hundreds of people discover an aviation lifestyle and achieve it, I can literally say that it is one of the most life-changing things you can possibly do. If you have the inclination to want it, let us help you discover it, explore it, and find those ways to justify it and pay for it. It's doable. There's nothing that replaces what an airplane can do that's in private aviation. So we hope you explore it, discover it, attain it, and enjoy it.